What's going on, everyone? TomGorian back again with another episode of the F1 2020 My Team Career Mode series. Today we are getting ready for the Season 2 Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. And unfortunately for Pierre Gasly, AlphaTauri do not look like a team that's going to win a race this season. We are catching Mercedes at a rapid rate of knots throughout this season, to the point where we are the second best team in Formula 1 and we are forcing their hand. As you can see, the progress history, we have absolutely caught up to Mercedes. We've got a couple of more upgrades going on in the car. We've got 2 durability upgrades. We are last in the durability department. We've upgraded our chassis to the point where now we are the second best. Well, we have the second best chassis in Formula 1, but we're going to try and upgrade to go for the brake disc width. That's a major upgrade. We want to upgrade the brakes because the brakes are too soft. I've said this in a couple of episodes, and we're going to go for this cockpit weight reduction. And we're going to go for the standard. There's not really much time between the rushed and the standard development of that chassis upgrade. But without further ado, it's time for the Italian Grand Prix.
It's time for the Italian Grand Prix once again, here at the beloved and iconic Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. With the lowest downforce and drag of any circuit in the season, expect to see drivers making the most of the slipstream effect here today. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Thomas. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Thomas lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Gasly, Nick de Vries, and Perez, Ocon, Hamilton, Sainz, and Lance Stroll, Verstappen, Giovinazzi, Lando Norris, and Ricciardo, Kvyat, Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, and George Russell. Matsushita, Hubert, Latifi, and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Qualifying was really close between myself and Valtteri Bottas. Only 11 thousandths of a second separated me and Valtteri for pole position at Monza, and that's the type of gap that you usually expect at Monza, considering the type of setup they have to go for. Most teams usually go for like maximum straight line speed and literally no downforce. Me, it's quite opposite. I like to go for a setup that does have a lot of straight line speed, but also for sector 2 because there's a lot of high speed corners, mainly the Lesmos and also Ascari. And just Parabolica as well. It's like Monza's a track that literally you need a lot of speed, but at the same time that speed needs to come from drag, like less drag, and you just need some downforce with the setup. The tyres as well. I thought the tyres, like, this is a track that the tyres don't do well at, but yeah, I guess I was wrong. First time ever in this series, I am on pole position. Feels weird. But anyway, enough talking. 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. It's a decent start, I would say. We're still in the lead though by turn 1. Rich and overtake. Does Bottas have a go in towards turn 1? Oh, we do look up though on the front right. We do go a little bit wide, but we retain the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. That was probably the best start we could have had. If Charles Leclerc can overtake Valtteri Bottas, then that will do our race wonders as we head towards that slight kink of free in towards the second chicane. This is probably the best part of the track for me, and we retain the lead. Right, this has got to be the main focus of this race. I know how OP the AI are on the straight line. And here comes Bottas automatically. I'm going to have to cover him off. He's on the grass nearly. Bottas takes the lead, but I don't think he's a late breaker like I am. Lock up on the front right. I lose the rear end. Got to be careful of that rear end though. Bottas is still there. He's putting up a fight. Bottas takes the lead, but it's going to be so close in towards the second chicane. I've got to be careful though. It's Mercedes versus Renault Power. In towards the second chicane. Do we retain the lead? Yes, we do. I literally have to try and create a gap here, but Leclerc and Bottas are they're not allowing me to do anything. Can Leclerc challenge? I don't think he will. This is what I hate about Monza. Literally, no matter how big the gap is, the AI will always come back at you. Through Ascari and Leclerc, the gap is still there between myself and Charles Leclerc. Look at the speed that Leclerc has, actually. I'm going to allow him to go by, because here's what I'm going to do. That line I've just passed, that's the DRS line. Now, if my IQ is perfect, I should get DRS. Watch, bottom right, there you go. That's what you want to do at Monza. You don't want to be in, you don't want to be DRS'd. You want to be in the DRS. And that's actually a small play right there. That's a very small play. To give up the track position right before Parabolica, and then get the DRS afterwards for the main straight. Alright, coming in. I've got no ERS left. Pit stop time on lap 9 of the Italian Grand Prix. Bottas and Nick de Vries have stayed out. My teammates stayed out. That's very important. Alright, here we go. So Leclerc's in. Hamilton stayed out. Verstappen stayed out. Gasly stayed out. That's very important. Hard tyres now. What was that? 2.9 second stop. That's a very decent pit stop there by us. So Leclerc is on hard tyres. There's Hubert's behind us. Hopefully Hubert doesn't overtake us. I don't want it to be like Hungary. And Hubert's overtaken Leclerc. Wow, that could be massive. Right, come on. Gonna make these hard tyres count. Right, who's in? Is the Mercedes in? There's Bottas, and yeah, Bottas miles behind. We have retaken the net lead of the Italian Grand Prix, and it looks like we've actually extended the gap between ourselves and also Valtteri Bottas. I keep running out of ERS. It's a massive problem I need to really, sort out. But anyway, we retain the lead, and Nick de Vries is in second place. It's a 1-2 for Tom. We have been on a massive run of momentum since Baku, literally. It was Baku, then Canada, then Hungary, then Belgium, and now it's going to be another victory here in Monza. But you know what? This is special. Mark it down, folks. Mark this date down in history. Around Parabolica, it's another victory at Monza, but it's a 1-2 for TomGorian Racing.
Absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant result. Well done.
Here we are then, a thoroughly deserved win in Italy after another excellent Grand Prix. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium.
This is a special day for our team right now. Nick de Vries gets his first ever podium in Formula 1, and it's a 1-2 for TomGorian F1 team. That's very special considering the fight in the constructors, and Lewis Hamilton is in P3 as well, so I thought Bottas might have, you know, I mean, the Mercedes were fighting with Charles Leclerc all race long. Looks like Bottas did get held. 21 points is the gap between myself and Lewis Hamilton with only 4 races to go. Russia, Japan, Mexico, and then Brazil. 100 points are on the line, and that could be the difference between winning and losing the World Drivers and Constructors Championships. We're still behind on Mercedes, but if we can get 4-1-2s, that could be the difference. As you can see, 113 points is the gap between us and Mercedes. I think Red Bull are out the charge now. We just need to overtake Red Bull. They don't have a good engine at all. As you can see, they didn't even finish in the points today. Wow, P13 for Red Bull. Wow. Shocking at Monza. But anyway, thank you for watching this video today, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. 30 likes would do me massively appreciated. A 1-2 in Monza. Great race. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Goodbye.